everyone. I'm Nicholas Spiro, and I'm here to discuss product marketing in the social age. Got to get my clicker. So, who am I? I have been product marketing for years at companies such as Facebook, Snap, and Twitter. And wouldn't you know it, in the time that I've left Facebook, it has a new name. And in the time that I've left Twitter, there's a new name. There's no word yet, as of the production of this presentation, on any coming name to the company currently known as Snapchat, but I'd keep your eye on this space. So the three areas we're going to look at today: the latest trends in social media on the organic or the consumer side, the latest trends in product marketing, and the marriage between the two. How do these intersect? And how, as a product marketing community, can we learn from these and absorb these examples? But first, a cartoon. This year, we're disrupting how we do marketing. Didn't we do that last year? No, last year we transformed marketing. No, but that was 2 years ago. Oh, right, we're reinventing marketing. It's about time. And whether you think of this as disruption, transformation, or reinvention, I'm going to help you do any of these with your product marketing. And I do always like to start with the why. Why are we looking at social media companies to inform product marketing strategies? And there's a few reasons why this might be a good place to start. Number one, social media is on the forefront of innovation. A lot of investment, innovation, engineering hours goes to these social media companies, so it is a good domain to learn from as we think towards the future. And number two is the wisdom of crowds. Social media is a tool to amplify many, many diverse voices. And the wisdom of crowds suggests that the sum of what these voices are able to learn and produce, the billions that are plugged into these social platforms, may provide insight beyond what any one of us in product marketing or even one academic might be able to uncover or ascertain. And so these are the main trends we'll be walking through. While there are many trends out there, these are 5 of the top ones. The rise of influencers, attention economy, suspense, competition, and long form to short form. And I'll add that these tie into each other. So changes in attention presage the movement from long form to short form. Suspense, as well as competition, are techniques to cut through the noise in the attention economy as platforms evolve. The rise of influencers and creator proliferation affects trends on the consumer side, as well as trends on the business side, and inform product marketing strategies. And a lot can be learned from pausing and taking inventory of the big stories of the moment. The rise of influencers. Here you can see in the data what we're all experiencing personally. And for those of us that are eternally online, like myself, it may feel like influencers have always been part of our online world. But that's not the complete picture. Influencer marketing has exploded recently, growing between 15 to 35% year over year, and it's estimated to be a $7 billion market in 2024. More and more influencers are coming online, finding their niches, and setting the trends in social media. Long-form influencers that traditionally grew up on a YouTube are moving to short-form options with Reels or TikTok or YouTube Shorts. High production quality is seeding the way for more realistic production quality in everyday moments. Let's look at one example. This time is from Twitch. I'll read the poster for anyone who can't see it. Be there, giveaway, Union Square Park. Does anyone recognize this? And does anyone know what happens next?
We start tonight with breaking news. Police in New York City restoring calm tonight after a riot broke out in Manhattan's Union Square neighborhood. A crowd estimated at 2,000 people descended into the area after popular social media influencer Kai Cenat advertised a video game giveaway.
That's right, Kai Cenat. Strong example of the growing power of creators on these social media platforms translating to the real world and increasing year over year. The second creator trend is around the attention economy. Not the entirety of the focal point of today's presentation, but it is worth mentioning that social media has many criticisms and critiques. These are 5 of the most common, and all of these, I think, affect the business landscape and affect product marketing. The second critique around addiction and dopamine is a trend unto itself and is worth clicking in on and exploring in more depth. Users are increasingly overwhelmed by choice, as you can see in the data up here, but also less able to focus on one item at a time. According to research, our attention span has markedly decreased. It's 1/3 of what it was in 2004. And that matters to consumer platforms, that matters to businesses, and that of course matters to product marketing as we try to hold the attention of our target audience. All right, another question for the audience. Who gets a notification every Sunday on their phone about screen time? Heard a yup? Well, there's a second metric on your phone that tracks pickups. You can find it on your settings once, of course, I'm done presenting and dispersing wisdom. And how many of these pickups do you think an average American does a day? So on average, in America, a user checks their phone, picks it up, puts it down 345 times per day. So once every 4 minutes. And the changes in consumer trends, attention span, and focus have larger implications for our collective work in product marketing. Suspense. We discussed creator proliferation, we discussed challenges grabbing attention. And so now to drive engagement and have a hook for their business, new and interesting suspense mechanisms find their way to social media influencers to build their brand and their following. So this is the point in the presentation where I'm going to allow everyone to close your eyes, make sure they're closed, deep breath. Now listen to this melody and raise your hand when you can identify it. All right, a lot of hands in the air. You can open your eyes. This is the Serial podcast from 2014. And all those hands that were in the air, that's instant brand recognition due in part to the power of suspense. The explosion of the entire true crime genre, I think, demonstrates the power of suspense and its recent growth. And it's a widely used trend to bring in new users, make them sticky, and create a viral moment around a product or a brand. Suspense can be as simple as counting, 1, 2, 3. So here you see Roblox and YouTube and PlayStation. 3 large brands live on a countdown using just simple audio and a timer to show when they will be live on PlayStation 5. And it's the lack of content in some ways that makes the user honed in, keeps attention focused. It's simple, it's elegant, and it's effective. Competition. Snapchat has a long time feature, Snap Streaks. If you use the platform, you're probably familiar with it. The core feature measures the number of consecutive days that you and a friend send at least one snap. You see it on the left here with the fire symbol and the snap streak. And this taps into consumer competition. The need to extend the streak, drive the number higher and higher, beat your friends. And what's interesting about this example with Snapchat is that tapping into consumers' interest in competition enables new monetization opportunities as well. So these streaks could actually reach years of duration between two individuals. And as of earlier in 2023, Snapchat now lets users pay to restore a broken streak. And in addition, Snapchat Plus, the premium subscription offer that's on the bottom of the slide here, also has a piece of its paid offering, the ability to freeze a streak. Say if you wanted to go internationally without service, or you wouldn't be able to access or extend the streak. And all of this is on competition, allows users to preserve the competitive element of their online presence. TikTok has many competitive features that are worth diving into as well. Here's one called Gimme the Mic, where they take organic TikTok activity, singing and dancing, which we all have experienced it on our For You feeds, and they turbocharge it into a full competition.
Want a chance to share your amazing musical talent with our global community? Don't miss out on TikTok Life's upcoming contest, Give Me the Mic. The audition opens until June 19th. Join Give Me the Mic to showcase your talent. Get a customized avatar frame and up to 100,000 diamonds.
And our final, but perhaps most publicized social media trend, long form to short form. Let's talk about form factor. Instead of starting with the market leader in short form video, which is TikTok, as I just mentioned, let's start with the oldest member of the online video world, YouTube. And what you can see from this data from Tubular is that short form video, which is defined as sub 60 seconds, is exploding. And that's not just on TikTok, but on the traditionally long-form video platforms as well. The lighter line, long-form video, stays fairly flat, with a little dip in the more recent time periods. But the darker line has increased substantially since the start of 2020. It's reaching about 125% year-over-year growth. And now let's take one example with a TikTok user, Yuriso7.
Sample edit turning a raw video into an amazing short-form content.
Networking 101 for entrepreneurs. The biggest tip is don't be thirsty. Be tactful. Don't go out there trying to gain a friend and ask somebody to marry you the first day that you meet them. You know, be cool with it. Act like you've been there before.
I thought this was a good example of an actual creator moving from a more long form factor to short form. Same content on the left and the right, same words, same storyboard. But what do we notice that's different? More use of sight, sound, and motion. More pop-ups, both auditory, you kind of hear the different transitions, and visual. Stronger transitions between the segments of what he's discussing, and it's designed for sound off with the use of captions. And even though I swore to myself before starting this presentation, I would never mention the letters AI, because I thought everyone would be speaking about this, it'd be 99% of the content here. This was clearly a future AI use case, if you think about it, the ability to do cut downs. And I think that's relevant for product marketing too, because there are other versions of cut downs you see here, as all of us potentially move from more long form to short-term thinking. So now we're gonna flip these 5 themes we looked at that are prevalent in the online world of social media and think about their implications for the world of product marketing. Everyone here probably has their own product marketing 2x2, but I thought this would be a good chance to introduce my own. And there are many dimensions of product marketing on all of our minds, but the most grounding for me are audience, which is here on the y-axis, and mechanism, which is here on the x-axis. And in audience, we answer one question: who is this for? It could be an external audience, customers, partners, industry bodies, or it could be an internal audience, the sales team, but inclusive of other XFNs, marketing, data science, sales ops, etc. And then on the x-axis, the way I've always broken this down is at the end of the day, in product marketing, we're transmitting information. And there's only 2 senses that can receive the information. There's auditory, you can hear something, which in the product marketing toolkit, I think of as a discussion, a video, a presentation. And there's visual. You can see things, which I think about as an email, a newsletter, an FAQ, a product brief. So you can take that 2x2 and use our 5 social media trends in blue and map them to best-in-class recent product marketing examples. So our first trend, influencer, I think can map to influencer product marketing, which is about the rise of influencers on our social media feed and elsewhere.
This is Pinterest. It's about positivity, inspiration. It's a story.
Okay, I like that.
Whatever your vision, you can make it a reality with Pinterest.
Kaboom.
Oh, that's a kaboom.
I'm feeling so unbelievable.
Look at this. You look good. I mean, you look so good.
So who here recognizes someone in the video? Raise your hand. Okay, most people. And now we have Pinterest, which is a business entity. It's not user-generated content. It's not on a feed or meant to be consumed by friends or family. They're targeting businesses, B2B. And they're marketing their product, but they're jumping on the consumer trends train. They want to use influencers to cut through the noise in the attention economy. They want a small spark to go off in the back of your mind, and you think, wait, I know that person before, and you begin to lean in. So going back to the 2x2, how you use that depends on the audience, and it depends on the moment and the needs of the information. But this is one tool at your disposal to market your products, especially externally, especially with some of these more smaller micro influencers. And here's an example from a company that used to be called Twitter.
Are you ready to take Twitter to the next level? Then you need to sign up for Twitter Blue. So you can Twitter faster, stronger, harder, smarter, and also stronger. Wow.
Wow.
Wow. I can feel the difference. Twitter Blue is a premium subscription with features like bookmark folders, ad-free articles, and undo tweet. Now tweet and undo. It's exercise, but it's also staring at your phone.
So that's Meg. She's the narrator, and she's great because while she's on every platform, she's actually a Twitter native influencer, which is a strong fit with the Twitter brand and strategy. And here also it's worth noting, the business strategy was substantial. Twitter was moving away from an ads-only monetization that had 90% of their revenue, and they were trying to introduce a paid subscription monetization stream. So this product marketing moment merited a bigger investment. It merited a bigger spend and a potential bigger influencer. And social media influencers, I think, are rising for a reason, and they can help you market a product or cut through the noise. Let's discuss suspense. Do you know the sensation of reading a book so good, you just can't put it down? You have to know what happens on the next page and the next page. And now, which company do you think of that fosters that sense of suspense with their product marketing? Any guesses? I heard it. How about now? So in that first announcement on the left, without even using their brand logo, Apple has such a hold over suspense that you know instantaneously what the type of product announcement is, and maybe you even start to feel that emotional tie or excitement that forces you to lean into the product and what they're trying to say and what they're trying to market. It also has led to a whole ecosystem that developed with Apple watchers and insiders. For example, this is an X account whose sole purpose is tracking if there's an Apple event and trying to pierce that suspense. It's similar to the earned media concept, where Apple's original product marketing is so strong that they've spawned an army of ripples that continue to market their products without them lifting a finger or spending a penny. This is Apple's first inaugural 2007 iPhone announcement flyer. And of course, you don't have the expectation that you can market your product, that you have the power and market of Apple. But there are ways to use suspense to introduce breadcrumb by breadcrumb your own product marketing to either the internal or the external audience. Let's look at a second example.
Introducing product drops from Twitter Shopping. Twitter Shopping is here, and staying on top of what's hot is easier than ever. Discover your new favorite thing from brands you love. Set reminders for upcoming drops, and geek out on the timeline when it's yours. With product drops from Twitter Shopping, you'll be first in line.
So here, Twitter, as a business, is using intrigue, anticipation, and suspense to build to a crescendo with the product's marketing that they believe will translate to business results. They're using reminders, they're using notifications and links to also make sure that once the suspense builds, the user is locked into the product and they have the shortest possible path to convert. Gamified marketing. Candy Crush didn't just want their users to see their brand on Facebook. They wanted them to immerse themselves and become the brand through a game. So here, users enter the self-facing camera, and they themselves become Candy Crush. They have to catch the candy and also compete for a top score. And the competition makes the experience and the brand more memorable, drove a deeper level of engagement and brand affinity. Snapchat Agency Adventure, on the other hand, is a 16-bit game that Snapchat uses to drive their product marketing to the agency audience. And why does this matter? Every platform is trying to send out information and make it stick. But the game is able to blend the attentiveness of gaming with product marketing briefs within the game that the player finds, and they drive best practices and success on Snapchat. Obviously, these last two examples are more substantial, and they should be commensurate to the size of the product marketing effort. But the concepts, I think, are sound, and there are lighter touch ways to apply this, depending on the message and depending on your audience. Now to our next example. Anyone want to offer a guess as to this product marketing trend? Probably a hard one. Short form product marketing, so brevity. All of us have the opportunity here to be shorter, to be briefer, to get our point across with less words and less text. We've heard the famous quote, "I didn't have time to write a short letter, so I wrote a long one instead." And the insight here is that it's actually hard to write a short letter. It's hard to be efficient, but it's worth it. And Meta, I think, captures this trend quite nicely. This is their new introduced Channels product. And it's a way to market focusing on the one-to-many distribution directly from the CEO and head of product himself. So this is the initial announcement on the left here. 4 sentences, 44 words, reaches 200,000 audience members. A few weeks later, 26 words, the channel now has 540,000 reach. And the third one, announcement in only 14 words, reaching 500,000 users, of which you could bet that probably a high percentage of them are consuming the entirety of the message. It's a lesson for all of us. These are complex, large products that could be easy to speak about at length, but we need to be able to prioritize brevity in our product marketing. We need discipline to invest the extra time to do so. Here's another video. See if you can guess the trend. Provocative product marketing. So one way I've absolutely been noticing to grab attention is playing with a person's reference frame. And I'm going to show a few examples where you can either go big or go small. We saw L'Oreal distorting your size expectations of their product. It's memorable, and something about the human psyche grabs attention when we provoke or distort user expectations. So next is mini brands. And mini brands, as some of you may have known, have taken off on TikTok.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Lexi and welcome back to the new and improved Mini Brands grocery store. Let's go shopping! Okay guys, first thing on the list is Velveeta. But first things first, gotta grab a basket. Okay, got my basket, and there's the Velveeta in aisle 1. Velveeta is secured. Next thing on the list is 2 Lunchables. Okay guys, Lunchables are in the basket. Next thing on the list is...
So, I love Lunchables. This brand consists of miniature toys, many of which themselves advertise real-life brands like Velveeta or Lunchables. And to date, this toy maker has sold 140 million miniature ketchup bottles. So the theme isn't just about going big or going small, but these are meant to be 2 provocative examples about how any change to the reference frame of the user or expectation of a product can have a substantial impact in consumer attentiveness. It's more memorable. See if you remember it later tonight. Now to recap. We've looked through some of the recent trends in social media on the organic or the consumer side. We've examined examples from Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, Pinterest, YouTube, TikTok, Apple, Roblox, mini brands, L'Oreal, and Candy Crush. We've seen how these social media trends can be mirrored to apply to product marketing strategies. And we've examined the implications based on audience, internal and external, as well as the mechanism of conveying information. And I hope that when you're on your next product marketing initiative or engagement, whether you're marketing to an internal or an external audience using either sight or sound, you reflect back on some of these themes or examples you heard here today, and you can build on these in your work. Thank you.
Awesome job, Josh. Quite the resume at the start, and I knew we were in for a treat there with all the examples that were coming in this deck. It's hard to take screenshots of everything you were showing, and I wish that I could. That was really cool. Why don't we take one question, and then we're going to roll into our next session and keep chugging along. So our target personas work in high-risk industries, offshore oil, mining, and do not use these social channels. Any suggestions for LinkedIn specifically?
Yeah, let me think for a moment. That's a great question. One, I do think LinkedIn, I have seen a rise of LinkedIn recently, even for non-business related content. I don't know if that's an official trend, but I absolutely think every business should be creating content on LinkedIn. And product marketing, I think, should be one of the internal teams that's using that as a go-to-market channel. I think the Meta Channels example is a little bit of a corollary. They weren't using Instagram to announce products. They weren't using Mark to be the face of actually announcing a product. But both of those have been ways to capture attention and get the message out in the way that they want the message to be out. So I do think for a high-risk industry especially, LinkedIn would be a really powerful channel to use.
It does feel like there's a trickle down, right, from B2C, the more consumer-focused apps. You are seeing that. I feel like even as someone that doesn't work in social, more on LinkedIn now, it's more focused on engagement, short form, click and watch something. That's different than it was 5 years ago on LinkedIn.
Yep, agreed.
Awesome. One more round of applause for Nicholas.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Thanks, man.
Yep.